What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, a returning engagement from Amanda Page Cornett. She's got so many projects going on right now. We're going to talk a little bit about them in the next few minutes. She's out of Nashville. I know she's from South Carolina and Florida, and we've talked about that all before. But she's in Nashville now doing her thing. Bluesy, Southern, and sometimes country. So she could do it. And actress as well. So, yeah, stick around. It's going to be a good conversation. You're going to want to hear it. Amanda Page Cornett. This week's shows, I have two public shows for you, my friends. My usual Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam every Friday night at the Rab, R-A-B. That's bar spelled backwards. It's a dry county, so the only way they can get away with putting bar up, and if you look in your rearview mirror as you're driving by, it says bar. Aren't they clever? Aren't they so clever? It's the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Friday night, they got a full bar. The kitchen's open. Pool tables, 10 diamond-style pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you check out the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. I'll be there Friday night from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. You provide the entertainment for us. You're the karaoke star here. And then on Saturday, my newest show, Little Rock, Arkansas. You asked for it, you got it. Mr. Brews Tap House, B-R-E-W-S Tap House in Little Rock, Arkansas at the Park Plaza with the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. They go from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. And it's a restaurant. It's got a bar. There's 48 different types of beers, but it's a restaurant. So I keep it family friendly. It's PG, PG, maybe a little PG-13 as it gets later into the night. But I keep it clean if you got kids of a certain age. So come on out, bring the family to Mr. Brews, have a burger, and if you're old enough, have a beer. Yeah, 48 different types of beer. I see some kids come in, that are just 21 or in their early 20s, and they go, 48 types of beer. Challenge accepted. Have a shot of each beer. Do people have shots of beer? I don't know. School me. Educate me. Call me. Let me know. Anyway, that's Saturday night. So excited. Last Saturday night was fantastic at Mr. Brews, and I look forward to more and more every Saturday night at Mr. Brews' karaoke nights from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. So bring everybody. They got a nice size room and a lot of tables and chairs. And, of course, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam with yours truly. So Friday night at the Rab, Saturday night at Mr. Brews. Yeah, fun times. Public shows just for you. All right, that's enough intro. Let's get into it with Amanda Page Cornett. I got her on Zoom, so if you're listening to the audio version, check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Amanda Page Cornett now. Oh, ain't nobody leaving here without singing the blues.
I love it.
Amanda Page Cornett in my face once again. So good to have you. Oh, it's so good. You've been so busy. I don't know whether to talk about exercise physiology, talk about movies, talk about music, talk about the Almost Angels, talk about the new project that you got going on. Oh, you got so much. You got so much happening. I don't know what to talk about first. I really don't.
Music.
All right. We'll talk about music. Fine. Fine. Let's be boring and talk about the best thing that you do. I mean, it's not just that you're a great personal trainer and you got influence in Southern rock and and in blues, and you've been to Florida, where I'm from, where it makes me all happy. You know, this is how I recap the last podcast that we did, where we had so much to discuss, and we still have so much more to discuss. What is new in the world of Amanda Page Cornett? Give the people an update.
Well, we have a new project. We have one song out from the new project, Cajun Kirk and Bella. Please check it out. It is available, and the characters are real. And if you look up the song, you will see the picture of Cajun Kirk and Bella, who is a dog who's 3/4 wolf and 1/4 Malamute. The story is made up.
I was gonna ask you. Yeah, I was gonna ask you which one are you, Cajun Kirk or Bella? I can't really figure it out. I don't like to
that jumps
label.
On the boat.
See, you're gonna have to explain all that, because I didn't quite catch all that. But I did know that you had that project, Cajun Kirk and Bella. Is it animated? Is it a series featuring music? What do we got going in here?
Cajun Kirk and Bella is just my latest single that we released in January. And like I said, the characters are real, but the story is made up. A friend of mine who is a Louisiana Cajun Navy guy and has a 3/4 wolf, 1/4 Malamute. We've become really good friends, and somehow it just sparked Mark Narmore and Grant Walden and I into writing a song about Cajun Kirk and Bella. So
it's so funny how the Navy has been like a through line for the past couple of weeks for me. If anybody, you know, my loyal listener has been listening, I've had a couple of Navy guys on. One of them guys, controversial problem with that fight to get his name on something in the orange, George Vineyard. And I wondered if there's going to be repercussions coming with that. But you, as a singer-songwriter, have you ever had anyone try to take credit for something that you've done?
I have had one situation with I'll say, sketchy publishing company that is no longer, so it's okay, where I stopped working with them because I could kind of feel the vibes were off, and thankfully I listened to my intuition. And as soon as I stopped working with them, I made sure to register the songs that I had written with them, which was smart, because one of the artists ended up putting out one of our songs, and when I looked it up, only the guy that ran the publishing company was listed as a writer. And there were 2 other writers on it, including me. So I made sure that got corrected, and haven't had an issue since then.
Yeah, this is primarily a learning podcast, so I want people to be able to steer the business side of the music business. It's nothing that's brand new. Colonel Tom Parker used to, if Elvis was going to sing a song, whether he wrote it or not, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, if he was going to sing it, he had to have at least half credit on every song that he did or didn't wrote. I don't know if he ever wrote a song, but he had publishing.
I'd let him have half credit.
Would you? Something
Elvis,
that
yes.
You poured your blood, sweat, and tears. This is something that was going on. It had to be since the 50s, since before Elvis Presley was Elvis, the singular sensation. Amanda Page Cornett. You may one day be known as Amanda. The only Amanda you ever need to know is Amanda Page Cornett.
I will say, as a songwriter, if a major superstar artist wants to cut one of my songs and wants a little part of it, I'm happy to let them have it, because that will then let all my other work shine as well and come more to light. So,
all right, you have the business acumen in your head. Yes. You went to school. I know it was exercise physiology school, but you still went to school. You learned something. You are a learned person. You're no fool. Mama and Papa didn't raise no fool.
That's right.
I guess they might still be in South Carolina. Hopefully,
they are.
Oh, okay. Well, are they hanging on the farm still?
They are hanging out on the farm. They're enjoying the farm life with their little dog. They don't have any horses anymore, but they're enjoying being out in the country and enjoying the retired life.
All right. Well, how often do you get a chance to get out and visit with them?
Not as often as I'd like. I saw them at Christmas and went home back in I guess it was either early January, maybe, for a funeral, unfortunately. But I talk to them quite often, and they're doing well. So
I know in our family, we've always kind of loosely joked that weddings and funerals are the family reunions that we have. I haven't been back to the Florida Keys. My grandma, my 94-year-old, 95-year-old grandma, still hanging out in the Florida Keys. Probably the last, she's the last of our family members that is there permanently. My mother has since moved to just somewhere south of Nashville. She's got a house there now, but I got a little kitty in the background.
You got a friend.
Yeah, anybody's watching I hope you don't reprogram Radio What back there. There's two cats running around this house, and they end up being part of the podcast from time to time. Anyway, my grandma, she's in her well into her 90s. She's got a birthday coming up real soon, and she's the last person in the Florida Keys. But, I haven't gotten back down there since 2009 when I moved to Arkansas. And I figure if I move down there, if I go and visit down there, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. But you...
Kind of fair.
Yeah, you have reason to get back to Nashville. Are you permanently stationed in Nashville now, or do you go back and forth, keep residence other places?
My residence is Nashville. I've been here for a while now. Would I be here if it weren't for music? I don't know. I don't know where I would be. However, you kind of have to be here to get good enough to be competitive. And so this is kind of where I've landed. And I've been here a while now. So I would love to have places elsewhere too. But right now I have to be here to make sure I can make things happen.
Well, you're in the Mecca. When people want to go be actors, they go to Hollywood. And I guess that doesn't even happen anymore, because Hollywood is not even Hollywood. Hollywood is a state of mind. Hollywood gets made in Atlanta and Ontario and Prague and quite a few other places all over the world. There's studios set up. And that's how people can do with the music as well. If you have $1,000 worth of equipment, you can make a pretty good demo. It used to be when recording was brand new, there'd be a handful, maybe two handfuls of studios. And you've been to Muscle Shoals. I know that's one of your places, one of your meccas. But I've been to Stax Records, Sun Records. We talked about Elvis a little bit. I haven't been to Motown, but I've never been to Capitol Records. I've been by. Driving by, and I've seen the building, but there used to be, and then Abbey Road, in England with the Beatles, there was a handful, maybe two handfuls. Now, if you have an SM7B sticking, right here in my face, and some recording equipment, other like a mixing board, and maybe an interface for your computer, and then maybe some programs that you can put together, for the After Effects, you can make yourself a pretty good demo.
Or just AI.
Oh my gosh. I was going to get there a little bit later in the podcast, because that is a polarizing word. I use AI to get information, to make scripts for some of the videos that I make for TikTok and Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
I make like historical, and you were talking about the Navy. I did one for the Helios, which is a laser beam that's attached to a naval ship right now. Yes, we are fighting with laser beams. Well, the future is now. But I learned about that using AI. Now AI is rewriting some of the music, and not just rewriting. Well, I guess right now, because it's a large language and it uses everything that's out there, what it's doing is it's rewriting music that is out there. But eventually it's going to come up with its own ideas of how to write music. Okay, since you went there, and we are of a certain age to where we were born before this kind of technology. I'm not going to say we were born before technology. We had phones, we had computers, we had, we had tape recorders. You talked about your tape cassette player that you used to record yourself into. Right. So we had that. I know how to splice reel to reel tape, but now AI might take over your job. Is that what's happening?
Nope. I do not believe that AI will be able to replace human songwriters.
They're writing some
I
good
do not.
songs. They're
They are,
making.
but I don't. I truly believe that people will it'll get very stale. And I think that music has to be honest and really, really deeply honest. And I think that people will get very tired very quickly of AI songs that are just like kind of milk toast. I don't think that AI will be able to, and maybe it will one day, but at this point, I think people will still appreciate the honest and raw emotion that only a human can give music.
Well, people that are working with record executives, they go, okay, that number one song had a boat, a truck, and a girl, and some beer, and a train, and okay, I'm starting to sound like a David Allan Coe song, but it had mamas and trains and prison, and why don't you write a song like that? That was a number one song. So if you pop that in, boop, 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 into your AI program of choice. It'll come up with that song that had mamas and trains and prison and trucks. And you can do that. Now, I full disclosure, I listened to Rogan, and for about 2 full months, he was playing a remix of a 50 Cent song called Many Men, and it was redone by AI in 1950s doo-wop, bluesy form. And it was fire, as the kids say.
Oh, I bet it was fun. Yeah, I bet it was fun to listen to.
Could you imagine? I mean, are you thinking that you're going to do your Cajun song and reprogram it with the AI? Is there a program that you have in your possession or do you know about that you pop it in and it rewrites your song?
I'm sure there is. I don't use them. I'm still a little bit organic on that side of things. We actually went back down to Muscle Shoals for this new project we did as well. We went to Cypress Moon and Portside Sound. Studio B is at Cypress Moon, and worked with Grant Walden, a dear friend of mine and co-writer of mine. And there's something about being a place where all of the musicians want to add their mark.
Well,
they're not coming in just to look at the chart, record the music, and take their money and leave. There's something still so beautiful to me about musicians who actually want to say, hey, what if we try this? What if we do this? And it can make a world of difference. One of the songs we recorded, we've been playing for 15 years. And the drummer, Justin Holder, amazing drummer, came in. He goes, have you thought about trying this? And there was one little thing that always bothered us about the song. And he came in and had this little input, and it totally fixed the issue we'd always had with that song and made it so much better. And I do think AI can do a lot of things, but there's something about having actual humans with those little detailed tweaks that, you might listen to something on the radio, but if you really, really, really love music, you're going to notice it's the same. You're going to notice it's really boring in the background. You're going to notice it's not unique. And I think there's something organic and unique about people that still want to make really true, unique, authentic music. So.
Yeah, when I first started on the radio back in '86, that's back in the 1900s for you kids out there. I used to have to record all of my commercials on a reel-to-reel. And say I wanted to make my voice even deeper than it is, I would slow the reel down by hand and record it onto a cart machine, which is kind of like an 8-track tape for 30 to 3 minutes of sound, whether it be music or a recording. This is how we used to go and cut and splice. And people that, all right, my young listener, if you see cut and paste on your computer screen, there's a reason that there's cut and paste, because I used to cut the magnetic tape to cut out the parts that I didn't want, and I would paste, usually using a Scotch tape or something, those two pieces together. All right, I talked to one of your compatriots out there in Muscle Shoals, Rick Revel. He's a part of your team, and he's a historian. So we did a lot of history, and I want to break down a lot of the history. You say you went to Muscle Shoals. You go in there. It's like a mecca. You could feel the people that came before. I went to Sun Records, and at the end of the tour, there was a microphone that may or may not have been used by Elvis Presley. The lady before me licked the microphone so she can get some of the Elvis, some of those chromosomes. I want the king inside me. And it was kind of gross. Not to say kind of gross. It was gross because who knows how many people have used that microphone. But she did it because she wanted to be that much closer to the king. Do people come up to you and say, I want to be a part of Amanda Page Cornett. Can I have a piece of your hair or your clothing or can I have your shoestring? Do you want that kind of fame where people just will not leave you alone?
Yet.
It could happen.
I mean, hey, I am all for fans coming up and saying hi because, like, that is it. Without fans, there is no point in being an artist. Without people to listen to music and share music, there is no point in having artists. If that were the case, then all it would be was AI. Then that would work. I thankfully have not had any stalkers that I'm aware of. I'm
your stalker.
Okay, well, that's as long as it's a nice stalker, I'm fine with it.
No, whenever I see your show,
I'd love for people to come up and talk to me and stuff like that because I think that it's part of it. One of the biggest lessons I ever learned performing the song you were actually singing when we started, Someone to Miss Me, the first time I played it out myself, I bombed it, or so I thought. And I had somebody come up to me and say, oh man, that last song you did was phenomenal. And I was like, oh, I messed it up so badly. And they were like, no, I could tell you really felt it. And that was a great reminder for me that it's not about how I think I did, but it's how it's received.
Well, all through the 80s and 90s, I used to, we talked about going to see Springsteen back in the 80s when he did the Born in the USA. And I said he had a 3.5 hour or almost over 4 hour concert. And you said recently that you had seen a 2.5 hour concert. Well, in that time, you're going to run out of your own songs, or you might forget some of the words. I know I know Elvis back in, when he, towards the end in the mid to late 70s, he was forgetting the words. Sometimes he'd get tired because he was working so hard. So he'd lay down on the stage and sing, I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway. Oh. And then he'd, maybe forget a song. Eddie Murphy had a comedy routine where he would fart in the middle of the singing that song. You get tired, but thankfully, you have your exercise physiology and you have your weights. I never could nail down. I was trying to nail down your routine so I can get into it. Did you ever get sponsored by the elliptical service that you wanted? You wanted a portable elliptical machine so you can keep up with your...
I did not. And I have not, unfortunately, but I would still love to have one of those ellipticos or street striders. So, but I still do a little bit of everything as much as I can. I think that it's great to mix cardio with weightlifting, so you're getting strength and keeping the muscles strong. But also, I do a lot of walking. I don't do running because I have bad knees. So, people are like, "Oh, you don't run," and I'm like, "Nope, not unless I'm being chased." Or chasing something like one of my dogs.
Well, I mean, you talked about carrying a bag of weights and stuff, but if you want to be a performer, yes, you could be a performer where you sit in a chair or you stand in one place. But if people are coming to an Amanda Page Cornett show, you're walking. You got a wireless mic. You're going to make complete use. If you have the ability to walk around, you're going to walk through that crowd and sing to people individually like a lounge singer. Amanda Page Cornett. This is me imagining going to an Amanda Page Cornett show. And if it's not like this, I want it to be like this. I mean, maybe you don't have to necessarily be Jessica Rabbit where you actually sit on laps. And why don't you do right like you did to me before? And then people with their tongues, blah, blah. But I can imagine Amanda Page doing that.
I definitely believe in being an entertainer. I think there's a huge difference between being a singer or a performer and an entertainer. An entertainer puts on a show. I think entertainers, you could tell how much fun we're having. And if you're having half as much fun as we are on stage, probably going to have a pretty damn good time.
Yeah, Mick Jagger's 135 years old. He's still going back and forth with his skinny body self and going, yeah, he doesn't move as quick as he used to. I saw Chuck Berry back in 2008 in Key Largo, and yeah, he didn't do the duck walk with his guitar, but he did get down a little bit. This is, I think I remember July 31st because I had a wedding that afternoon, and after the wedding, I was able to go up the street and see him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and see him at least the end of that concert on the same day. Such a beautiful. Oh, yeah, it was a Brazilian wedding. The lady was from Brazil. The guy was a country boy. So we had a country Brazilian wedding. That was fantastic.
That sounds fun.
Oh, and they were older, so it was like their second or third wedding. And then I got to see Chuck Berry to finish off the night. What up? You know.
Can't hate that.
No, I can't hate that. And so I want to go one day, someday. I know I need to get to Nashville because my mom lives pretty dang close down there. She has a spare house for me to stay in. They moved up there to this. There was a little house that they had just south of Nashville. And then my dad, who is buku crazy, great with his hands, built a whole nother house. He's built her 4 houses. Okay. The man, and that's not even his job. He's not even a construction worker. He's one of the other village people, but he built her a house. So there's a place for me to stay down there when I go and visit Nashville and go and listen to an Amanda Page Cornett show. Where are you playing? Are you playing up and down Broadway?
I very rarely play Broadway, and the reason being is when you play on Broadway, you have to play cover after cover after cover after cover, and a lot of the bars want you to play current country only, and I feel like that makes you only get compared to the current people on the radio. I also think that my soul would die having to do covers all the time. So I do play there sometimes, but for the most part, we try to get outside of Nashville where we can actually do a little bit of mixed of full band and covers and originals and stuff. And I'm also playing in another little side project, which is kind of fun. It's a little bit feels like more my acting side of things, called the Hollerbillies, which is a honky-tonk band where we're doing old school country music. And with Dave Isaacs, Ed Simpson, and Keith Kenyon, amazing musicians. And I do feel like I get to act a little because I have to, put on my old Southern country little persona. And so we've been doing some gigs with them as well as Almost Angels and Hollerbillies, and trying to just book as much as we can.
Well, I'm glad you spilled the tea on that one. You are a busy lady. But, you've done it again. You've explained to people the music business, what you can do to make a living in the music business. You could be that weekend warrior that goes and does weddings and parties and, the corner of the bar and plays 50% covers and maybe 50% originals, or most of the time, 90% covers, maybe 10% originals. It may suck the soul out of an original. I watched that movie, That Thing You Do, with Tom Hanks, where the songwriter was getting upset that his songs kept getting changed. They got sped up, they got slowed down. And what do you mean I can't sing my own songs here? Maybe I'm misremembering the movie, but I know I've heard the story before where a songwriter wants to sing his own songs, but the owner of the club, the venue, wants him to play the covers. And me as a DJ, I'll take care of you. My job as a club DJ, as an event DJ, is to break out artists, break out songs. So Friday and Saturday night, there will be an Amanda Page Cornett song playing up on the screen, especially if you have a music video, which you do. You take the time out to make music videos because you're an actor, okay? You can do those things. All right, fine. You're multi-talented. I get it. Amanda Page Cornett, save some of the talent for the rest of us, please. But, you have all that in your pocket, in your repertoire, in your toolbox. And so there will be an Amanda Page Cornett song playing on Friday night at the Rab, playing on Saturday night at the at Mr. Brews. And they're going to go, oh, that's good. Who is that? And I'm going to say, oh, that's Amanda Page Cornett. My job. I've done that in Miami, working on South Beach. I've done it in Key Largo, working on the beaches. And I play new music, people that are established already, and new songs. That's my job. And that's how we work together. And then this podcast, you don't have to play a single song, because I'm going to send people to your website. I'm going to send people to your YouTube so they can get the ears on it. What I want to hear is how Amanda Page Cornett came up with all this stuff. Teach us.
Which part?
Oh, all the parts. But I mean, tell me about your acting. You say you're getting back into acting. You have at least 4 credits on your IMDb, which is the and I don't even remember if we even went into Junkyard Dog and Shattered and the other movies that you were in.
Well, I also have a lovely info on my IMDb that I guess they decided to put on there for the movie Country Strong. Somebody decided to go in and say she was in Country Strong, but her scene wound up on the cutting room floor. I was like, thanks to whoever decided to put that information on there.
I'm okay with that. At least you got called up to be a part of this.
Right.
People put you. All right. There's a way to make money in the entertainment business that way, in the movie business, where they reserve you. Look, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars to go sit in this trailer in case we need you. And it doesn't just happen to Tom Cruise and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other. It happens to character actors. It happens to people.
Stand-ins.
Look, I might need you. I'm going to pay you this amount of money so you could be sitting over there on standby. Don't take another job. Don't get on Broadway and go play other people's songs. Amanda Page Cornett, I'm paying you to stay home and wait by the phone.
I'm good with that.
And did that happen on Country Strong?
You can make money. So. Huh?
Did that happen on Country Strong?
No, I actually did the scene, and we actually ended up doing it more than once because we had a random rare snow. And so they actually pulled us back to do it again. It was a bar scene, and it just happened to not make the final cut of the movie, but still get paid for it. So
that's what I said. You got paid for it. Now there have been some times when actors will take their whole family to the theater. Mom, Dad, I'm in this movie. Check it out. And they'll watch it from start to finish. And they weren't in the movie. They got left on the cutting room floor. How embarrassing. Now, Kevin Bacon was in Animal House, but I guess he was unrecognizable enough. I know he was in there. I know he was in that movie, but somehow his family didn't recognize him in 1978 as being in that movie. I know there's a story out there about it. I'm following it up. If you want to look it up, you can. But that because you wear the makeup, I'm sure it happens to space aliens in Star Trek and Star Wars, where I'm in this movie.
Avatar. I mean,
I was a Klingon. No, but you weren't a Klingon. That wasn't you. You liar head who lies. But have you done any of these movies where you had to spend 5 hours in the makeup chair?
No, I have not. Not at this point. I have not. I mean, it would be fun. I'm open to it. I'm open to all of it. I enjoy being in the entertainment business and entertaining people and bringing joy. I don't think that I would bring my whole family to a movie that I was supposed to just be in. I think that I would go see it first because that's how I am. But
yeah, not just that. Back in the day, people used to be able to buy a whole house using a national commercial they were in. Maybe they made a nice Coca-Cola or Pepsi commercial, and it paid for their new car or their house with the residual checks. Checks.
I would love a national commercial. So anybody out there that needs me, I'm available for national commercials for sure.
Yes. and you just live on mailbox money for a while where it just keeps coming into your mailbox. You did that thing once. I'm sure Flo from Progressive's making buku.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Plenty
I think she's
of dough.
on salary now.
Oh my goodness. But now you don't want to go on salary because the more you work, the less you make. And that goes
true.
the assistant manager at Target as well. You're going to keep working hard for that.
You don't get your overtime that way.
Nope. You're on salary. So if I got to have you work an extra couple of hours,
you're mine.
But you being a straight up hustler, because that's what this business is. It's hustling. You're thinking about it 24 hours a day. It's got to be hard to unwind. When I started KeysDAN Enterprises, I incorporated. I could literally work every waking hour of the day thinking about KeysDAN, thinking about the business. How could I improve it? You have to turn it off. You have to give yourself a 9 to 5. And I'm talking to myself right now. You got to give yourself 8 hours in the day to do the work and then a couple of hours to spend with your family and maybe your kitty cats or your puppy. You got to do that. How do you wind down, Amanda Page Cornett? What's your downtime?
Well, I guess because I work part-time for a living is what I say. I just have 4 or 5 different jobs, the hustle, as you said. But I have also a mild case of narcolepsy, so I can take a nap anywhere, anytime, which is sometimes not a good thing, sometimes is a good thing. But when I do have random downtime, I'm pretty creative in other ways. Like I like to make feather earrings. I like to do carvings, like wood carving. Right now, I'm deconstructing, sadly, an 1886 Steinway and Sons.
What?
Because I could not find anybody that was interested in buying it and restoring it, and I tried for over a year. And even the Steinway guy came out and said, even if it got restored, it would cost $20,000 and it probably wouldn't sound good. So now I am taking it apart and trying to create some art pieces from the piano so that at least it's preserved in some way, because I just can't, my heart can't handle it being in a landfill. So,
all right, you mentioned
things I do.
You mentioned narcolepsy, and I remember when I was a kid, we used to make a joke. People that have narcolepsy like to tell on each other. But how big is this piano that you're talking about? How big is it? One of these grand pianos, or does it stand up like you see in a saloon?
Upright. It's an upright. I mean, it's pretty 5 foot tall. It's very, 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 very heavy. I really think it only needed a new action assembly in the middle that had the hammers and stuff. But it has beautiful ebony and ivory keys that could be authenticated because you have to know that they're over 100 years. But the model number said 1886 when I looked it up. And I can't fathom throwing this piano out. So I'm going to take the keys and I'm going to do some art projects with the keys. I'm going to take some of the pins and use some of those. I'm actually probably going to make a table out of it. Did you know that bass strings on a piano are made of copper?
I did not know that.
So I've been cleaning up some of the copper strings, and I'm planning to make some rings and bracelets, cuff bracelets and stuff to sell at shows or to sell to friends or whatnot, because I want to try to at least preserve as much of the piano as I can so that it's not going to waste.
Did you know that X-rays have a lot of silver in them, so you can rob the silver out of X-ray machines and make different things? Now you're making jewelry. Do you have an Etsy? Did you start another company?
I don't have an Etsy, but I do have a separate little Instagram page, APC Creates, where I do sell my earrings and carvings when needed and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to try to sell some of these at shows or through others. I don't have time to do an Etsy. I don't have time to do everything I need to do with music. So I don't know that I can handle that, but that is a creative outlet for me that's separate from music. So it gives my brain a break. So I know people don't understand that. They're like, but it's creative. And I'm like, yes, but it's not coming up with words and making them fit and making them fit the music perfectly. It's a different brain creativity.
You just can't stop working. There might be a problem here. Have you thought about therapy? I'm terrible
at housework.
This is from a guy who's fully against therapy. There's my hot take. I'll be like my grandfather. Therapy? You just need a swift kick in the pants.
There you go.
Get out of here.
Well, I'm terrible at housework because I feel like that's the least of my priorities. Okay. So I don't do everything.
Well, what we did, if you're watching the video version of this, instead of doing the housework, she put up a curtain. Okay, magic curtain. Who knows what's behind there? I don't know. And me, I'm in the corner of my room. My camera's facing just a piece of this studio. Who knows what's going on over yonder? And I said yonder because we Southern. Yonder.
That's right. There might be a green one behind this one. There's a black one in spots. So.
I moved my hand, and then my automatic camera moved my camera over a little bit.
It's trying to show us everything.
Let's see if I move it this way. Look at that. Oh man.
See, mine doesn't do that.
This technology is great. I got there's different settings on there, and it says automatically center yourself. So I put that on there. So it kind of makes it a little more interesting when I'm watching a video. It'll move me around a little bit. Now I know if I'm doing some of the zooms, if I put the okie dokie up, it'll give me like hearts or something. I don't know. I've done Zoom meetings, and maybe I don't have that setting on there where it would, if you put a thumbs up, it would, I guess it's not doing it now, but every once in a while when I'm doing a Zoom meeting, it'll pop up, if I make a certain face, it'll give me an emoji. Technology. It must be that AI just listening.
Yep.
No, well, speaking of AI, do you have any of those like Echoes or Amazons or any of those things that's always listening to you? What do you think about all that?
No, I do not.
You have a phone.
I do not. I have a phone, and that is enough.
Yeah.
I do not like the cameras in the house. I have security cameras outside of my house. And actually, I have a third camera that I didn't know where to put. So when I'm out of town, I'll put it in the house to see the dogs. But when I'm in town, it is face down in a box. So
conspiracy theory. If you have a phone.
Yeah, I mean, I have a phone, yes. But at the same time, like, I have heard some weird stories about, well, one, my cousin bought his mom and one of the AI Alexa thingies or whatever, or Echoes. And because it was connected to his account, he could talk to them and listen into them. And she made a very good point when he started talking to him, and it was in their room. And she said, "What if we were doing something you didn't want to listen to?" And he said, "I'm not going to be turning that on ever again unless you know we're talking."
Good point. I mean, recently there's a picture of Netanyahu holding his phone. He's got black tape over his 3 cameras in the back and his 1 camera in the front. And you just got to look at, okay, he's one of the more powerful people in the world. What does he know that I don't know? Should I be putting black tape over my cameras when I'm not using them? Do you think that you're being accessed?
My phone case has a cover.
What? Oh, you got fancy.
But it doesn't cover the front camera. It doesn't cover the front camera, though, so it wouldn't be helpful.
Oh, they're looking at you. They're listening to you right now. Oh, the conspiracy theories.
They're going to be so bored.
Where's my tinfoil hat? Where's it at? It's around here somewhere.
I always say if they're listening into me, they're so bored.
You would think so, but I don't think so, because here I am talking to you, and I am so excited still to be chatting with Amanda Page Cornett. We spent at least a good hour talking before about your upbringing, your life, and anybody wants to go back and listen to that, do it. I encourage you. But now we're finding out where you are right now. You want to be in the movies. You want to be up on stage putting on a show. You want to be in the studio writing, singing songs, not just as yourself, but also as characters. As I mean, what's the name of your character when you're doing your country show? Or
I mean, I'm still me. We haven't come up with characters yet, but I do definitely, if we're doing a show with the Almost Angels, I definitely do change outfits at least a little bit, because I'm more a Southern rocker. And so the last time we did one, I changed my boots from black boots to Western boots. I definitely put a little vest on and I put a bandana in my hair just to be a little more old school country. We're doing stuff, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty stuff. We have researched songs that none of us had ever heard of for duets, country duets, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So
golden rings.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the funny thing is, my regular band, the Almost Angels, had never heard me do pure country. And they were in shock. It was hilarious. So
well, it's all intertwined. It's all the same chords. It's just how you play them to get from country to blues to rock.
Yeah.
It's just steps in one direction or another. But thankfully, you have the idea. It's so odd. You play a chord going down, and it makes you feel blue, and then you go chord going up, and it makes you feel happy. And a chord, it's so interesting what music can do. You can lift moods. You can change attitudes using music. Yep. It's universal. Ever since I saw the Close Encounters and E.T., well, maybe not E.T., but Close Encounters, how do you communicate with people not even from your country, don't even speak the language, but maybe from not even of this planet? How do you speak to them? With music. Yeah,
it's universal.
Oh, man. So when E.T. does land, are we going to call Amanda Page Cornett and you're going to play a song for them?
Why not?
I just came out of left field on that one. Next, I'm going to talk about flat Earth. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That would be bad. Now I'm just trolling people. Now I'm just rage baiting people. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have had a friend who is very much flat earther, and it was very entertaining.
Oh my gosh! Since I don't follow too many people on my TikTok, I follow my brother, and I follow this bar that I do on Saturday nights just recently. But I don't follow anybody, so my For You page just feeds me all kinds of theories, and because I put up videos about history, I put history, science, and a little bit of true crime. And I do troll. I did one on 9/11, and did we land on the moon, and are aliens real? Just the facts.
Now you got to do the flat earther.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Because all those pictures from outer space are just drawings.
Absolutely. The of the Earth is not real, and the 7 realms of. Oh my gosh! If you can go down that rabbit hole. The
person I knew also had never been on a plane, so had never been able to see what it looks like from a plane. But also the person that she followed in this theory encouraged people to not take planes.
Yeah, because you could fly over the ice wall and get into a whole nother realm, where the giants live, and maybe where heaven is. Heaven is the other realm over there, and there's giants on that realm just over the ice wall. It gets weird. It gets so weird. But do I believe that the Earth is round? Oh, go ahead.
Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real. Uh-oh, that's new. That's new. Why aren't birds real?
You don't know that one?
Give me.
You don't know that one?
Give me the tea. Gosh. Spill it.
A student out in California somewhere, I think during 2020, came up with this whole website, purposely not believing it, that birds were all surveillance. And they're surveillance drones, they're spies. That's why they sit on the wires, because that's how they charge themselves. I mean... If you haven't heard of it, you need to look it up, because you can look up and get the pictures of each bird and what kind of surveillance bird they are. Oh, and people believed him. He made a lot of money on this, knowing he was making it up. But it's so much fun to say. So if you've heard of it, it's really hilarious to say, birds aren't real. Hey, they're listening in.
Trolling people. It's what the internet is being used for now. I think all of X and Twitter is just people trolling people. And nowadays, it's just, I guess it's fun to stir the pot. We used to call it stirring the pot. Oh, Billy doesn't like your hair. Billy didn't say a thing. Oh, it is. It's a lot of cyberbullying. I'm 4 square against it, but it's fun to watch sometimes. I don't know. I guess it's like movies. It's like making movies and music. Is you're telling stories, whether they're true or not. That remains to be seen. Now, here's another thing: is when you're putting out music, and people say, "Oh, that one made me think of my mom or my dad," and you, when you were writing that song, you had no thought of parents in your mind at all when you put that together. But it doesn't belong to you when you put it out to the world. It gets interpreted.
Absolutely.
Have people come up to you and said, "Oh, it made me think about this," and you had no idea that was even part of the song?
Oh, well, absolutely. And there are some songs we've written where we have one thought in mind of a situation, but then when you really start getting into the song, you realize this could cover a multitude of things. Like, I have a song, "Don't Wait," on my first album, the Front Porch Rebel album, and it could cover the loss of a parent, could cover the loss of a sibling, the loss of a child. It could cover a multitude of things, like "Don't wait till it's too late." It doesn't matter what we were thinking about from the get-go. What matters is what the listener hears and how it affects them.
Yeah, George Lucas was having that problem when he put Star Wars out, and people were like fan fiction all over the place, and they were saying, "Well, Luke wouldn't do this because Leia was doing that, and Guato and Guato, where did he come from? He was in a whole nother movie." But it doesn't. You put it out there like a whole record. You could have one song that's not even connected to another song, but somehow somebody will connect those two songs. Oh, you must have been thinking about cans of peas when you were writing both of these songs, because it makes me think of cans of peas.
Hey, more power to anybody who wants to determine that. If somebody wants to go through my music and try to connect them all, I encourage it.
I believe in that. As long as they pay that 99 cent to $1.99 on the Spotify, right, and the please support Amanda Page Cornett.
Yes.
Because up to now, the Easy Go exercise machine has not come through. Okay,
that's right.
She needs to have it to throw it under the bus so she can keep in shape and give you the best show that she can give.
Oh, I've got an even better sad sob story right now. My dog needs ACL surgery.
What is this? Well, no.
So if anybody really wants to support my music, please do.
Okay, that was something that now that people aren't selling records so much, they're not selling CDs. I think I have my whole record and CD collection sitting up on the wall. Different artists that have been on this podcast have sent me their music. And I don't even have a record player. I barely have a CD-ROM that I could play CDs on. Everything's digital. Nobody owns anything. I know, yes, okay, they sell albums. They sell CDs. They sell DVDs. But does anybody really buy them? Maybe some older folks who want to have that physical thing in their hands. But how do you support an artist now? Buying the feathered earrings, or coming and visit with you after the show at the merch table?
Yeah, buying merch, actually buying your music instead of just getting it for free. Even if you're just doing simple subscriptions, that's still better than doing free. But if you really love a song, you really love an artist, download those songs, buy those songs to keep on your phone or keep on whatever. I do have physical albums of my first album and plan to put my new project, is just 6 songs on some CDs, but we're releasing them as singles right now. But I am one of those people that likes having a physical product in hand. Like, in fact, I have my first album right here, and I like having the physical product with the pictures, with the notes, with all that stuff. So some of us still do enjoy that and appreciate that. And I actually bought a CD player that I could hook up to my aux in my car, because my car doesn't have a CD-ROM anymore. So I actually have one in the car that I can listen to my Christmas music and any CDs that I want to listen to. So some of us still want to listen to a whole album through. And I just cannot say enough. If you really like somebody's music, follow it, listen to it. Hey, if you want to, go find a playlist with my music and hit repeat and turn the volume down. I don't care. Play it as much as you want to play it, even if you're not at home.
Justin Bieber did that recently well, not recently, maybe a few years ago when he put his album out. That was really, it had a lot of apologies, it had sorry and stuff like that on there. But he said, hey, put it on your Spotify and play it over and over, which probably it gets frowned upon by Spotify, but do it. Do it. Even though this podcast is on Spotify, and I'm probably going to get burned now just for saying that. But
hey, I was helping out a friend with watching her dogs last week, and she has an Alexa, and I asked Alexa to play Amanda Page Cornett playlist.
All right, let's do that clean, so you can turn on all the Alexas right now. Alexa, go ahead.
Hey, Alexa, play Amanda Page Cornett.
All right. I hope that worked.
That would be awesome.
No,
but I got to her house later that day and it was still playing. It was great.
Oh my gosh, mission accomplished. And you talk about physical CDs. My DVD collection was strong. It got stolen years ago, but I had over 1,000 albums, record albums. They got lost in a storage unit years ago. I had CD after CD gone, all gone. Everything's gone. Like I said, about 3 or 4 pieces of media up there. Now, the latest thing is people are sending out thumb drives with their music on it. Have you succumbed to that?
I haven't, but I have considered it, or doing the, you can get the download, like QR codes too, where somebody buys the download from you and you give it to them so they can download it and they've already paid for it. I definitely am not against that at all. I think that we have to do whatever we can to try to survive, because it's very difficult to make money on music these days unless you are a major artist.
And that's back where we started. We talked about AI and technology, and now we're going to land this plane. Amanda Page Cornett, my goodness, we have chit-chatted and talked. What is on the near horizon? What are the shows you are doing that people can get up off their couch and away from their big screen TVs and go see an Amanda Page Cornett show? Or is there anything as you, or as the Almost Angels, or as the Cajuns?
Well, I know the Hollerbillies have a big show coming up not too long from now, and we have not put a website together, which is our fault. But we'll be playing out, and there's a cool little place called the Fill-In Station. We'll be playing in early April and doing our honky tonk stuff. And I know that Almost Angels have a bunch of gigs coming up. Oh, my phone is getting low. My battery is getting low. I might have to go get a charger. But
no, it's good that we're stopping this thing now.
Okay, well, good, because it's 5%. But we also have a lot of shows coming up. We're playing a really big Jeep show for Operation Freedom out in Arkansas at Lake of Ozarks this summer.
All right, so I'll figure out if I can get up there.
If you can.
Yeah. I have gigs on Friday and Saturday night, but we'll see, man. Maybe I can get somebody to cover for me.
That would be fun.
Yes, looking forward to meeting up with Amanda Page Cornett in the flesh. I've talked to you so much, and I mentioned that I was a stalker, which is kind of accurate, but the stalkerism that I do is when I see you, I share you. If I see you on social media, share. I think there was a thing in New York, if you see something, say something. If you see something, share something. That's how you can help Amanda Page Cornett go further. Get her some more ears. Get her some more eyeballs. Get her some more listeners. That's right. But, all people really need to know is AmandaPageCornett.com, and that'll lead you to all the other social medias. I'll have all that in the show notes so people can go clicking around and finding all your stuff. But, I always finish these things off. Do you have any other things you want to talk about or you want to mention before we get on out of here?
I think that's everything for right now.
All right. We'll chat again. I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. I'm very grateful to Jill Santabanez and TJ Cates over at Nashville Entertainment Weekly or Nashville Entertainment. They have an enterprise as well. And
they do, and they're great.
Yeah, a nice stable of artists that work together and that they help promote and push further on. You got to this level, they want to get you to that level. A little higher. Push you higher. And that's what we need to be doing, is helping each other out. But I always finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, maybe some words of wisdom, a mantra you wake up with every morning, maybe when you're lifting weights, oh, this stupid weight is so heavy, or just whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Amanda Page Cornett, give the last words for the people.
I'm just going to say one of the lines from one of the new Project songs. Forgiveness is good for the soul.
Well, there you have it, party people. Amanda Page Cornett. That girl is busy. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it. I look forward to hearing more, talking more. And you know there's going to be more because you're a showman, a showgirl, a show person. I don't even know the adjective on that. I'm like a dinosaur. Showman, show person, showgirl, creator, entertainer. Let's go with that. That'll encompass everything. Amanda Page Cornett, entertainer, and not only performing as herself, but also as characters when she does different shows. So stoked, so happy that you've made this business called show your life, and you're able to make a living on it. Not a lot of people could do that. Not a lot of people could do that. Tell my dad, you know what? I want to go be an actor. Oh, they're going to get so afraid for you. I want to go be a musician. They're going to get afraid for you because starving musician is a thing. But thankfully, hey, you put a lot of tools in your toolbox. I mean, Amanda Page Cornett, she went to school. She got her degree in exercise physiology. So she has that. She could personal train you while she's singing to you, while you're lifting that weight, while you're doing that bench press. She could sing a song to you, but she'll teach you how to do the bench press properly with good body mechanics. Huh? How about that? Stay in school, kids. I mean, you know, unless you just want to go straight to work. I had a conversation about this with my father-in-law. Do you have to go to school for certain things? If you want to be a doctor, you know, lawyer, if you want to study theories about things, even, you know, musical theory has its place as well. But do you have to go to 4 years of college, 7 years of college for certain things? But can you go straight to work? Yeah, you could do that too, because all the knowledge is in your hands now. Between Google and AI that we talked about, everything, all the knowledge of the world of the entire of human existence is written down and put right in the palm of your hand. You have a phone that has Google devices and AI devices, and it can teach you. If I don't know that subject, give me about 30, 40 seconds. Ask my AI of choice, and there, I got some knowledge on it. I'm not an expert yet, but I have some knowledge about what happened. And I know we talked about AI. Is that going to take the place of a songwriter? Maybe a little bit. Maybe it'll give you some ideas about what song to write. You give it a subject and tell it to write some lyrics about this subject, and then you turn it into a song. You tweak it a little bit. I know I use it for making my scripts for the videos that I make on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I tweak them. I tweak them a little bit, but I learn a lot of cool things having that large language model at your fingertips. Yeah, the whole world is out there. Go learn about it. And I know this is primarily a learning podcast. I have a thirst for knowledge. And Amanda Page Cornett, thank you so much for being a part of the What Makes You Famous podcast. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email KeysDAN@AOL.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.